Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me. Oh, where troubles melt like lemon drops, way above the chimney tops. Oh, that's where you'll find me. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why, oh, why can't I?
That's Chris Foster, ladies and gentlemen, joined by brother Nick Flores. Hey, Chris, you want to sit in the whole service with us? Have a seat.
No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come, love and be loved. From the bliss out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Good morning, Unity Renaissance. Please stand and join us.
Have come together as family. We have come here as we are. We have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. We sing in celebration. We sing with words of praise.
We sing with words of prayer.
We affirm our life as sacred. We declare that peace is here. house of praise. Spirit's in this place.
One more time.
Spirit is in this. Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this. Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this. Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place.
Good morning, everyone. What a glorious day, isn't it? Oh, I'm so happy to see the sun today, aren't you? Oh, man, it's a beautiful, beautiful sight up there. Beautiful day unfolding. Hey, I'd like to give a special Unity Renaissance welcome to our good friend Chris Foster, who's here from Kansas City today, playing beautiful music on guitar. Did a lovely prelude for us. Chris is so extraordinarily talented and also a very dear friend. So thank you for being here today. And good to be together in community and good to be with you who are watching online today. We are feeling our connection with you wherever you are, whatever's going on in your life. I hope you have that sense of being home when you tune in to Unity Renaissance. Well, unity is positive, practical, progressive Christianity. We follow the teachings and the example of our way shower, Jesus, in seeking to more fully love ourselves, love God, and love one another. It's all about love. And from that beautiful consciousness of love here in Unity, we honor all paths to God, all names for God, and all expressions of God. And each and every one of you, and every one of you, every one of you is an expression of God. What a beautiful realization, what a game-changing realization that is, that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And we come to know ourselves as innately divine, and we connect with that divine light in us, and we behold it in one another. That beautiful light just grows and grows, and it shines out ever more brightly to light up the world. Our vision at Unity Renaissance is, together, a spiritually awakened world, living in peace, love, and joy. And we are manifesting that vision through our mission, which is, together, we transform lives that transform the world. Let's begin our time of transformation this morning in prayer. I invite you to close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in, releasing into this sacred energy, this feeling of oneness, this presence that unites us. We do feel this presence today as we connect with one another in person and also online. We also this morning are sending special prayers to the city of Buffalo, to all those affected by yet another mass shooting in this country. Our hearts are broken over the continuing gun violence and the senseless killing and taking of lives in this country. And so even as we send our love out in comfort to those who are victimized by such senseless acts, we also continue to work on our own consciousness and affirm and contribute to a raising of consciousness in this country to put a complete end to such senseless acts. We just take a moment of silence to send our love out to all those affected by the shooting at a supermarket and that took 10 lives in Buffalo. We affirm a higher consciousness unfolding. We hold to our vision of a spiritually awakened world, living in peace, love, and joy, and do our part to make it so. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
It's a brand new song written by two of our favorite artists, Karen Drucker and Harold Payne. You are welcome here. Let's stand for this one. And I guess you can tell how it's going to go, right? But we'll show you.
You are welcome here. 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 You are welcome here.
Turn to the person next to you. Tell them you are welcome here.
You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Our arms are wide open. There's room for everyone. Wherever you go and wherever you're from, you are home. You are welcome here. 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 Whatever you've been through, you found us somehow. Wherever you are on your journey now, you are home. You are welcome here. 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 You are welcome here.
All right, let's hear it.
You are welcome here. 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 I am 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 welcome here.
Let's try. We are welcome.
We are welcome here. 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 We are welcome here.
That was really sweet. Wasn't that really sweet? So now in that great welcoming spirit, I invite you to join me in our divinity salute as we turn to greet our neighbors with a bow. Together, the divine in me greets the divine in you. And we serve and celebrate together for the glory of God.
Here we go.
You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here.
You are welcome.
You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here.
I am welcome.
I am welcome here.
We are all welcome.
We are welcome here.
Nicely done. Nicely done, y'all. Thank you.
What a wonderful song to start the service this morning. Especially after everything that's been going on and the clouds raining down and the sunshine came out for us today saying, you are welcome here. Come. And for those who are online, thank you. We feel your energy, but you should see and be in this spot. You'll have to hold yourself down because you want to fly. Okay? Now, My name is Peggy Taylor, and it is such a joy to be your platform host this morning. Our word for today is freedom. Please join us in our affirmation together. Taking responsibility for my life leads me to freedom. Each life has its share of ups and downs. Like most people, I have felt blessed by my happy experiences and laid low by my more difficult ones. I have used the spiritual tools of forgiveness and gratitude to learn from and move beyond my painful experiences. This kind of spiritual housekeeping is the key to lasting freedom. By releasing blame and regret over and over again, if necessary, I am ensuring that I will not be bound by the past and limited by an outworn image of myself. Life is dynamic, and so am I. My growth is dependent upon my forward movement, and we commit to embracing the freedom that comes from leaving the past behind. With gratitude, I bless the person I was. You're okay. With faith, I reach unencumbered for the person I'm becoming. If you would like prayer support today, we have several options. For those who are here, we have a prayer chaplain, 2 wonderful prayer chaplains, by the way, available to pray with you after the service. Would our 2 wonderful prayer chaplains please stand? Lucy Tucci and Deborah Moorfield. After the service, they will be in the chapel. You may fill out, which is next to the bookstore on the other side of the sanctuary. You may also fill out a prayer request form at the prayer table by the chapel, or you can submit a prayer request on your website, our website. When you go home maybe and you just say, hey, now I really want to have some prayer. They are available. We have a prayer website at unityrenaissance.org. You may also call Silent Unity, Unity's 24/7 prayer ministry, and that's at 1-800-NOW-PRAY. If you're a number person, 1-800-669-7729. So now please rise and join us in the Lord's song.
Holy Creator, we praise your name, your will in heaven and earth the same. Supply our needs, Lord, from day to day. Let your forgiveness light our way. Lead us away from temptation's hold. Deliver us, Lord, into your fold. For all the kingdom, power, and praise, with you began and with you stays. Holy Creator,
Our Father, who art in heaven,
praise your name.
hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
Supply our needs,
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we have forgiven our debtors. lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever.
Into your fold, for all the kingdom, power and praise, with you began and with you stays. Amen.
Fun today. As you know, we have a guest, Tom Baker. Paul will be interviewing Tom, so I thought I'd add a little levity to the discussion about sex in the Bible and do this song from Greg Tamlin. You know, none of the great masters were married, and maybe they were trying to tell us something. All right. The man I most admire spread love throughout the world. The man I most admire really didn't mess with girls. He looked around, saw the deal, said, hey, I can't do that. I'm gonna find my 12 best buds, go drink wine and fish.
Jesus was a bachelor, and so was Buddha too. Could it be that they knew something more than me and you?
Buddha cut the ties that bind and headed for Nirvana. Women tried to marry Jesus, but he said, I don't want it. Relationships take lots of time and compromise at best. Maybe all the saints knew they could never pass that test. Take Mother Teresa, she chose to do good works instead. The nuns all married Jesus, but, well, he's dead.
Jesus was a bachelor, and so was Buddha too. Could it be that they knew something more than me and you?
Buddha chose enlightenment over married life. Jesus could not save mankind and satisfy his wife. So for all your friends are saying I do, but you just won't, take comfort in the fact that even Jesus said I don't. If you want to set your sights on more ethereal worlds, don't let your lower chakras chase material boys and girls.
Jesus was a bachelor, and so was Buddha too. Could it be that they knew something more than me and you?
Buddha left his family for much less worldly pastures. Jesus was too busy getting ready for the rapture. Some folks now dispute this thought that Jesus was unwed. A rabbi single in those days, well, there's no way, they said. As for me, I think the way of partnering is best. I'd like to be enlightened and still be having.
Jesus was a bachelor.
Well, maybe, maybe not. Maybe he was married and that church in Rome forgot. Some say Mary Magdalene was wife and apostle. I don't know what you think, but I say, hey, it's possible. There's one more possibility that we can't overlook. Or maybe there's another way that Jesus was mistook. I know that I'm suggesting is not what some want to hear. But if it troubles you, then it's not love, but fear you feel. Wait, love you feel, but fear. Here we go.
If Jesus was a bachelor,
Well, maybe he was gay. That would be quite frightening for some Christians today. They'd like to ban gay marriage, but the Bible's been misconstrued. What kind of Christianity judges and excludes?
Forward, right? We're moving these up, right? Why, thank you, Richard. Well, we're off to a rollicking start on this discussion, aren't we? What a great topic today.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be a miracle if we can cover as much as we want to in 20 minutes. So just by way of background about this kind of discussion, so I was raised in a non-religious household, and so there are some aspects of traditional Christianity that really baffle me, that I just don't get, and fortunately I have a fabulous resource to go to with all of my questions, and that is our beloved Tom Baker, who is... Oh, you know what? I forgot my questions. 1 second. small oversight. There we go.
Women are so forgetful.
Back to our beloved Tom Baker.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so Tom is a former Catholic priest. He, how long ago was it that you left the priesthood, Tom?
I left in 1990.
Okay, been a little while now.
Oh, yeah.
And been a new thoughter. Been coming to Unity Renaissance for a good long while, and so it's just kind of the perfect person to ask these questions of that come to me. So when I started out thinking about matters related to sex and Christianity, I thought, well, this would be kind of fun. This would be interesting. And then I picked up this book, which I want to recommend to you. It's called Born of a Woman. It's by John Shelby Spong, and it's the subtitle, A Bishop Rethinks the Virgin Birth and the Treatment of Women by a Male-Dominated Church. So as I told Tom before we got started here this morning, I got pretty fired up and a little angry. So I just want to make really clear I'm not attacking you in any way when I get angry. So just you know, it's not that.
So don't kill the messenger.
Exactly. So anyway, so thank you for being willing. That's very brave of you. Okay. No, just kidding. All right, so let's just begin with, to me, what is one of the most obvious questions. Why does traditional Christianity treat sex, even as an expression of love between consenting adults, as something dirty or even evil?
Well, the short answer is original sin. When Augustine formulated the doctrine of original sin, in a kind of 4th century genetics, he said that the sin of Adam was communicated through the generations or transferred through the generations through sex. So if you had sex, you were bringing original sin into your life. Now, how that works is rather mysterious. Why would Adam's transgression affect us? I mean, there are lots of relatives that we've had that have done bad things, but they haven't affected our lives. It doesn't mean we've done bad things. So that's where it begins, and it sort of took energy from that, and women were put down. They were subordinate creatures.
Yeah. And, interesting in reading a little bit more about the Adam and Eve creation story.
Yes.
That you talk about Adam's sin, but so much, the blame was really put on Eve.
Yes, it was.
And so from the very beginning, something I hadn't really realized, that sort of sexism in the church structure began with continuing the story of Adam and Eve, because she wasn't born as an equal to Adam. He was created according to the myth. He was created, and God created all these animals for him to have as companions, and that wasn't enough. And then he decided to create her as a companion out of his rib, and she was there to serve him. And she's the one that ate the forbidden fruit and then tempted him. And so the whole stain of sin really had been on her from the beginning and continued to pass down. So this quote that I read in here, see if this resonates for you. Sex, clearly, for the church, was not designed for joy, for love, or for recreation. Sex was evil, save as means for keeping alive the human race. The sexuality of the woman was the most evil of all, for she was the source of male desire. All of these attitudes were part of the legacy that arose, at least to some degree, from the birth narratives in which a virgin was placed at the center of the Christian story, and we'll talk about that in just a moment.
Great.
Does that? No, but doesn't that resonate?
Yes.
This idea that somehow women are responsible, that women are villainized for the desires that men have.
Right, and Eve was sort of the trouble in paradise.
Yeah.
She was the one that was tempted by the devil, and then she tempted Adam. And so in the ways that human beings have in blaming one another, women were kind of blamed for the fall.
Yeah.
Just like you said.
Right.
Well, because it's all mixed up. Adam was responsible, being the man. So we don't even credit Eve with the sin, but we blame her for it.
Oh.
Isn't that strange?
Yeah. Yeah.
She loses both ways.
Yeah. So why was it so important that Jesus' mother was a virgin and that Jesus also was a virgin? Because there's just so much emphasis on that, even to the point of priests having to be celibate, etc.
Yeah, and I was celibate for 10 years. I controlled myself for 15 years. And I know what that's like. It's a hard thing to do. And we just assume that Jesus is celibate, or he didn't have sex, that he was a virgin and that Mary was a virgin, so they would not participate in original sin. So Jesus can be sinless and Mary can be sinless, but in order to remain sinless, they have to remain virgins. There's this thing called concupiscence. Concupiscence is your animal nature. We don't talk about this anymore. We don't talk about this is your animal nature and this is your heavenly nature, right, and that kind of thing. But there was this thing called concupiscence. And it was kind of the animal nature of human beings. And it kind of boiled down to having sex.
Right. And so from what I've read, when the Greeks became more of an influence in Christianity, that there was a real philosophy then about your lower nature and your higher nature.
Right.
And everything associated with your lower nature was the human carnal impulses, and everything was elevated. Your whole purpose was to be in higher realms with what you were focused on in your spirituality. But to the point that the human part was made evil.
Well, yes, the human part was not only made evil, it was made kind of the way that you were. You with original sin, there's no freedom anymore. You can only do what you do in sinning. It's kind of interesting to me that Jesus came to forgive people, and modern day Christians call themselves sinners.
Oh.
What happened? Who got forgiven? What's forgiveness in the first place?
Yeah.
The whole thing begins with punishment and is lived out in sorrow.
Oh my God.
It's terrible.
It is terrible.
Had you sung that song in a Catholic church,
Yeah. It burst into flames.
the bishop, yes, burst into flame. I was going to say the bishop's socks would have fallen down, but yeah, it's.
Well, I think it's interesting to note, Jesus isn't the only one who's said to have been born of a virgin. So I don't know if everybody knows this. And Bishop Spong has said before that in the time of Jesus and prior to that, virgin births, as he put it, were a dime a dozen. So some of those who supposedly had mothers who were virgins are the Buddha, Horus, a god of Egypt, Attis, Quirinus, I don't know how to say that, Indra, Adonis, Mithra, Zoroaster, Krishna, Perseus, Romulus. There's a whole long list of them. So I guess it was a way of trying to distinguish someone's greatness, right? To give them an elevated status. But when I think about it, for both the Virgin Mary and for Jesus, I feel really sad for them. They were robbed of their humanity. I mean, in the telling of this. So that aspect of them, their wholeness, if you will. Like, I want to look to Jesus as a symbol or a representative of wholeness, that he lived out every aspect of his humanity and his divinity. And it just seems to truncate that part of it. And to even deprive him of the love of a woman, a close, intimate relationship with a woman, which I absolutely believe he had with Mary Magdalene, seems unjust.
Yeah, I don't really think that the church ever believed that Jesus was human. I think they basically believed, as it is implied in the Gospel of John, that Jesus kind of came down from heaven as God, and that he kind of dabbled in humanity. He really wasn't vigorously a human being. Now, this is contradicted by the scriptures, in which Jesus loves to party, he loves to eat, he loves to drink. I guess he loved to get tipsy. He loved all those things. Interestingly enough, they're things that we then laugh at. We think, that Jesus, that amazing Jesus, he would come down to us, which is the result of this kind of truncated view of the spiritual up here and the human down here, and what's up here is good and what down here is bad. It's a simplistic way to look at it.
Yeah, but it also gets back to sort of traditional Christianity portraying Jesus as the great exception, something that no one could ever aspire to.
Right.
Whereas in New Thought and in Unity, we see him as the great example. So we want to live into the same consciousness and the same wholeness that he exemplified.
Yes.
So I remember in 2012, there was a discovery made of a little piece of papyrus. Does anybody remember this? And it had a reference to my wife. Jesus said something about my wife, and it just set off a whole firestorm about whether that was authentic, and just to me, sort of an unbelievable reaction to quash that immediately. Any possibility that he was married. Why? Well,
because the super Christians of the day were desert fathers. They would go out into the desert and they would meditate and they would pray, and they were not married. In a kind of male-dominated society or a male-dominated religion, if you're going to overcome your passions, the passion that is most obvious is the sexual passion if you're a man. So to overcome your sexual passion was like an act of heroism. It gave you status in the spiritual world. And so it got to be that Jesus just couldn't be married because he was too spiritual to be married.
So the thing that gets me about this is you could see it as sort of noble to be more disciplined for a man in his passion. So you could see that. But what really becomes evident in the way women are treated in the Bible is that the women were blamed for it. That it wasn't so much about a man building up his self-discipline and sort of higher awareness as it was blaming the woman for being a temptation.
Yes, and that was kind of drummed into us in the seminary. In fact, when I was a priest, I could not ride a woman in my car in the front seat. She had to sit in the back seat because her little hand might come over to me, and touch me. That would be awful. So,
Tom, what was that like for you?
Frustrating.
I mean, yeah. But didn't you feel like, well, okay.
What did I feel like?
I mean, didn't you feel like cut off from a really essentially human part of yourself?
Yeah. Oh. Didn't exactly cut it off, but but it had to lay dormant.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. So the part of this that got me kind of worked up is this.
Remember, when a woman is angry, she is very articulate.
I don't want to. No, so this is what got me upset. Well, there are many aspects of this in a patriarchal, male-dominated religion, how women were treated as second-class citizens, and the sexism pervades the Bible. Well, it does Christianity, I should say. Not Jesus' teachings, but anyway, but it's the treatment of Mary Magdalene. And what I picked up from this book is that it was very intentional, very purposeful on the part of the church in this way. I'll just read it. By the turn of the first century, there was in the life of the Christian church a clear need to remove Mary Magdalene, the flesh and blood woman who was at Jesus' side in life and in death, and to replace her with a sexless woman, the Virgin Mother. The record of history is that this was accomplished by portraying Magdalene as a prostitute and thus assassinating her character. By the time the first years of the second century began to pass, Mary, the mother of Jesus, dominated the field. She was portrayed as understanding, faithful, cooperative, and docile. And this image of what a woman is became the replacement for the dangerous love model reflected in Magdalene. Mary the Virgin was not only loyal, but was so pure that she could not experience either lust or carnal desire. Real feminine power was suppressed, and a woman who was manageable took that place in the tradition. It served the constant male agenda that perpetually desired to dominate and control the female. What do you have to say to that, Tom?
I think it was awful.
It was awful, because I really do believe Mary Magdalene was not only his wife, but his partner in ministry, that they served together. And interestingly, this book was written in the 1992. That's how old this book is. And Bishop Spong is already saying in there that it is obvious, if you look through the Gospels, the many ways in which Mary Magdalene is given prominence, the ways in which she holds a higher place, and ways that point to her being his wife in language and customs and all that kind of thing, which is a lot to go into. But then it becomes, and there's not one shred of evidence in the Bible that she was a prostitute, not one. And the Catholic Church has since rescinded that characterization of her, but everybody, it's implanted in everybody's head, isn't it? It's the first thing you think of. So they were actually very successful in suppressing her and then raising this idea of the Virgin. The Virgin Mary was defined by the men who shaped Christianity based on the male value system and things appreciated in a woman. She was pure, obedient, docile, and powerless.
It's terrible. You're right.
Yeah, it's terrible. Mm-hmm. It is. It's really outrageous. Okay, we can move on now, but thank you for that. Really? Come on. So, Tom, how have these teachings affected women and men and society over the ages?
Well, I think that, first of all, Genesis kind of makes you hate yourself because you're so bad. And then you pile on top of that you're inferior and you're worthless and you're not an equal person with your husband or with your friends who are male. This affected marriage. It affects marriage to this day.
Yeah.
It says in Genesis that a woman will yearn for her husband and he will lord it over her. That's written in Scripture. So people read that and they think, well, that's how I'm to be married. I'm going to lord it over my wife.
Yeah.
I'm a marriage counselor. I deal with Genesis every day.
Wow. It's so ingrained, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the subservient role of the woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which birth control and abortion
Yeah.
has helped to free.
Right. But we can see where it began. We can see where this idea. So here's what my last quote that I'm going to offer. Since no one save Mary could achieve the ideal state of virgin mother, all other women were taught that they might approach virtue by being either virgins or mothers. They could join the nunnery and live out the role of virgin purity, or they must be perpetual mothers, producing as many offspring as God would grant, regardless of the impact of a large family on the health and well-being of the mother. Sex had no saving purpose except reproduction, which helped me understand the Catholic teachings around abstinence, or as the only
Abstinence, birth
form
control,
of birth control, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty unhealthy, isn't it?
Yes, it's
kind of cruel, really.
Yeah, yes. You're putting words in my mouth. It's been as cruel for women or for men in some ways as it is for women. Christianity has a very pessimistic view of human beings. In this church, without original sin, you have the unity church. That's what the church will look like in the future, in my opinion, as we get over these ideas. So that's the hopeful side of this.
I never realized original sin was so foundational to all of it.
It's huge. It's huge. That's what Jesus is saving us from, is Adam's sin. See, that's why the cross and the crucified Jesus is so large in our imaginations, because it was we're bad, he's good, God's mad at us, and so Jesus is sad and has to suffer for us. And it's just a rough way to live. It's an unhappy way to live.
And not only that, but I feel like we missed the point of his teachings.
Yes, we did.
This is not what he taught. That's not at all what he taught. And in his band of disciples were women as well as men, and likely many of those disciples were married, and he probably was as well. And the respect that he showed to women, it is actually chronicled in the Bible. You can read the stories of how he treated women, not as second-class citizens, but rather lifting them up and respecting and honoring them.
Well, the fact that Jesus spoke to women as people and as friends caused him to have a bad reputation. Part of what people didn't like about Jesus is that he treated women as equals and Mary Magdalene as his equal. That put people's Jesus was put in low regard because of that.
Yeah. So it's like what we're about is trying to recapture the truth of his teachings, recapture what was really there instead of the overlay or the misconstruction by the organized church.
Yes. Yeah,
so what would it take to make things different quickly on the church's part?
Quickly?
Well, okay, not. I guess it's a little late for quickly, but what would it take for the organized church to make a course correction of import?
Courage, honesty, sanity. The church would have to kind of take into account the discoveries of psychology. would have to take into account the common sense that women and men are equal.
And so that would be reflected. You had mentioned to me 2 things that you thought the church could do. Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay, it was...
but you do.
Yes. Yes. It was to remove the celibacy requirement on priests and to allow women into the priesthood.
Yes.
That those 2 things would change everything.
Yeah.
I agree, too, because in addition to, the celibacy, obviously there have been horrible things done to children by priests, and because of that repressed, I guess, urge in them.
Yeah, yes.
No. No, ma'am.
It's okay, Sheila.
We're actually already 10 minutes up. That's for later in the service. Anything else you want to add, Tom?
Well, from knowing you seem to me, if the church would change, you would be an excellent Catholic priest.
Not happening. Maybe in a future life.
Mm-hmm. You're the future of the church.
Well, you know what? Let me just say, I do believe unity is the future of Christianity. I really do. I really do. And it's been, we see more and more signs of that. It sometimes seems like it's a monolith, but cracks are happening in the organized church. There's infighting. There's, people are leaving. There's just a lot of seeking for who are we going to be after this. And I believe that we're ahead of the curve. Mm-hmm. I really do. So anyway, well, Tom, thank you for being up here with me today.
One thing I'd like to say is probably the most important phrase in the Unity Church for me is that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. That makes us equal, not only men and women, but it makes us equal with Jesus.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate you so much. Thank you. All right. So this book that I mentioned there are a few copies in the bookstore. And honestly, I was so moved by this book. My eyes were opened. It was great. If we ever wanted to do a book study of it, I would be honored and happy to lead that for men as well as for women. So just let me know if you have an interest in that. All right, we're going to skip our meditation since we're running a little bit late today. Take time during your day to turn within and have some quiet moments of meditation on your own. Always a good practice. Well, this is the time in our service when we offer our financial gifts in support of Unity Renaissance. So I invite you to give back as your heart leads you. Give back in gratitude. And there are many ways to do that. Those of you who are in the sanctuary, if you'd like to give via cash or check, we have a love offering basket in the back that you can put your offering there. Or if you like, you can give online via our website, via credit card or debit card. But perhaps the easiest way to give these days that we encourage is via your text phone or by your smartphone. Text the word give and thereafter the amount you wish to donate to.
Ready?
540-418-1228. Text now.
And let's bless our offering together as you hold your gift in your hand together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
Give and it's given back to you. Give and it's given back to you. Give and it's given back to you. Press down, shaken together, running over. Back in good measure, it's given back to you.
Right. I guess what it all comes down to is to always choosing love.
see laughter, I can see tears. I see a choice, love or fear. What do you choose? I can see peace, or I can see war. I can see sunshine, or I can see a storm. Oh, what do you choose? Now I choose to live with freedom flying from my heart where the light keeps shining. I choose to feel the whole world crying for the strength that we can rise above. I choose love. I choose love. I can see sharing, or I can see greed. I can see caring, or poverty. Oh, what do you choose? I can see gardens, or I can see bombs. I can see life or death coming on strong. To love with freedom flying from my heart where the light keeps shining. And I choose to feel the whole world crying for the strength that we can rise above. I choose love. I choose love. Dying. I see us dawning as one world united. What do you choose? Love or fear? Oh, we choose. Now I choose to live with freedom flying from my heart where the light keeps shining. I choose to feel the whole world crying, and I choose to feel the one voice rising, and I choose to feel us all united in the strength that we can rise above. I choose love. 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 I choose love.
Boyd Black, welcome back, Boyd.
we have a really special presentation. So I want you to think back when we were in lockdown. I think back during the pandemic when we couldn't be together for a very long while. And what was our saving grace? It was live streaming. So we have an amazing team here that produces this every single Sunday, and often they produce our hybrid classes as well. And thank goodness we were positioned, they had gotten started before the pandemic hit, so that we were ready to go electronic when we needed to do that. And it takes a lot of hard work, a lot of leadership, and a lot of love and commitment to make that happen. So today we're going to recognize our sound and video team. Yes. So I'd like to invite them to all come forward, please. We got George, Everett, Alicia, David Kennedy. Come on up, David. Steve McCullough, Christopher Naughton, Humphrey, Lily Scott, George Terry, Tyler Tedeschi, and Charles Tudor. And here they are, your hard-working sound and video team. So just a couple things. You guys are amazing. And, you know, an amazing team doesn't happen without an amazing leader. And so it's to recognize our beloved Paul Mitchum, you know, who held the vision for having a team and attracting enough talent to make it work when we thought, oh, how will we ever get the camera people we need? You guys do an amazing job every single Sunday. I know all you listening out there are appreciating them as well. We have a new member of the team, George Terry, who's joined us. So I want to recognize him. Love having you here. And he goes by Terry, even though his name is George Terry. So we have another George over here. But anyway, let's stand and give them our Christ blessing with so much love and so much appreciation together. Sound and video team, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in you. We love you. We love you. We really, really love you. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, now we're ready. All right. So now is the time in our service when we'd like to welcome those who are new to Unity Renaissance. And we'll have our ushers come on up here so you can take a look at who is raising their hands. If you're here today for the first, second, or third time, we invite you to raise your hand nice and high, holding up 1 for your first visit, 2 for your second, 3 for your third. I got a 1, 2, 3 right here on the third row. I love having you here. And there's a little card in that bag. If you fill out the card that's inside of that gift bag and take it into our bookstore, we have a gift for you. Fill out the card in the bag, take it to the bookstore. We have a gift for you. You get your choice between a chip clip and a magnet. They're both beautiful, functional, and we're so glad you're here. We look forward to seeing you again and again. Welcome.
Welcome. Okay, this is an active church doing so much, and we have a wonderful committee, the outreach committee, and they are collecting diapers for children, diapers of all sizes. You can bring them in even if the box is open. And if you have any adult diapers, they will accept that as well. So the collection box is in the north deck. I'm sure you've seen them when you came in. And it's going to really be overflowing even more so. We have the rest of this month, right?
Yes.
To do that. So looking forward to that.
A couple more Sundays. Thank you for your contributions to that. We have a wonderful new class coming up with Mary Rhodes. Still raise your hand there, Mary. And speaking about being on the leading edge of things, Mary is an amazing intuitive in our region and very high demand for her services, and she is going to grace us with this new class called Intuition, the Bridge to Your Soul. It will be 3 Wednesday nights right here in the sanctuary starting on May the 25th. We're asking $25 per session or $60 for all 3. You get a discount if you go ahead and sign up for all 3. So be teaching you how to navigate the bridge between the ego and the soul, tap into your soul's wisdom, and then apply your intuitive skills in everyday life. If you've ever had the experience of not knowing, is that my intuition talking? Is that my inner voice? Or is that some other voice? Kind of being able to discern that and then put it to use in your life. It's going to be a fabulous class. So you can sign up for that on our website, on our app, or out here on the sign-up wall. Thank you, Mary.
It is going to be a dynamic class. Are you ready to become a Unity Renaissance member? I know you are. You want to join this great church. It's like this all Sundays, so just know that. So to be a new member, and do I need my glasses on?
You're good.
The Path to Discovery is a class that you need to take. Sign up in the hall wall if you want to become, and I know you will, a Unity member. You will learn about the Unity movement, how the church started, and then you will be, when you become a member, there's a wonderful ceremony that they give.
Yep,
but
on
you
July
also
10th.
have the opportunity to vote on things that the church is doing. It's a very inclusive church, so they will let you help make those decisions.
Yeah. Yeah, and also serve on certain committees that are only open to members, like being a prayer chaplain and being on the finance committee. So take advantage of that if that interests you. We have a great film. We have a great film coming up on June the 3rd, our monthly Higher Consciousness film. It's The Queen of Kotway. Has anyone seen it?
Yes.
Oh, it's such a wonderful film. Oh, it's so inspiring, so uplifting. It's a great family film. That'll be at 7 o'clock on Friday, June 3rd. A Ugandan girl's life changes forever when she discovers she has an amazing talent for chess.
Yes.
So it's just really beautifully shot. I can't pronounce that actress, Lupita Nyong'o, stars in this celebration. So plan to join us for that in just a couple of weeks.
That's excellent. The big thing, Memorial Day. The mighty men of Unity will be sponsoring a cookout, barbecue.
Yep.
On the 27th.
Yep.
And they will have music. You can dance. Congo, you will want to dance. It is so much fun. Bring your own chair, a lounge chair. Just be prepared that your feet are going to want to move. And you're encouraged to do that. And it's $10 a person is recommended. If you can do that, help out. And it's going to be a fun time. I've been to them, I think, twice
They're fun,
or so.
aren't they? They're so
oh, my
great.
God. It is just so much fun. You would see church members dancing like you've never seen them before. You know?
You may be one of them. And we're going to have perfect weather for that, too.
Yeah.
So everybody affirm that.
Affirm.
Well, next Sunday, the wonderful Reverend Margaret Jenkins will be our speaker. She will be talking about, can you really have it all? Margaret, are you here today? I don't know if I see her here today. All right. She always does an amazing job, so join us for that. All right. Let's stand now and welcome our children. Thank you, sweetheart.
We are walking in the light of God. 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 Light of God. We are walking, walking. We are walking, walking. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking, walking. We are walking, walking. We are walking in the light of God. 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 We are walking in the light of God.
May be seated. What a beautiful group. What a beautiful, beautiful group. Who would like to share what you learned today? Wow, we got some hands up. Coming up, Hadley.
We learned that we can be kind to everybody even if they're bullying you.
We can be kind to everybody even if they're bullying you. That's big. Yes. What is your name? Monroe. Monroe?
Always be kind to others.
Always be kind to others. You learned about kindness today. I love that. Yes, Sophia.
We learned about compassion.
They learned about compassion. Yes, ma'am.
We learned about having a caring heart.
We learned about having a caring heart. Oh, what beautiful things you learned today.
A grudge can be as painful as a rock in your shoe.
So she said, a grudge can be as painful as a rock in your shoe. Wow, that's profound. Coming up, Isaiah.
We learned about the rights and wrongs in the retreat.
Oh, the rights and wrongs in the retreat. We're getting ready to have a unity retreat here. Anybody else?
we did Pathway to Discovery class this morning, so
nice.
Making sure seniors are members, or at least knowing where we are.
Way to go.
But we also really want to thank the congregation. We went to Rally 2 weeks ago. It was really good.
Oh, nice. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Hey, before we do our closing prayer, I'll give a little bit of an announcement to make. Some of you may have already heard our beloved Lisa Carter, who has been our youth education director for 7 years. Stand up here, Lisa. Is going to be retiring at the end of June, and we will have a Sunday when we celebrate Lisa, which she so richly deserves. And in the meanwhile, we've been in the process of looking for the next youth ed director, and we have found her. And we have very excited to welcome Anna Vincent as our new youth ed director. So congratulations, Anna. You guys are an amazing team. Anna will be teaming closely with our wonderful Bea Clendenin to run the Youth and Family Ministry Department. Anna has been Youth Ed Director here in the past and also was at Unity of Dallas Youth Ed Director, so we're just very, very blessed. Big shoes to fill, though. So thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Anna. Exciting things ahead. Let's stand together now and join in our prayer for protection, followed by our peace song. Together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. Over there. The presence of God watches over us wherever we are. God is and well.
freedom's flying in my heart where the light keeps shining, and I choose to feel the whole world crying for the strength that we can